Hey, how are we doing, guys? My name is Tana, and welcome to Crypto Bible. I'm going to be giving you guys a bit of a longer video today, and I wanted to actually catch up on the whole Ripple versus SEC case. There's been a lot going on recently, and I kind of just wanted to keep you guys up to date and myself as well. And I found a pretty handy website where they've basically just given me all the latest news and headlines I want to be going through. So that's basically what I want to be doing in this video. I kind of want to round up all of the action that's been happening in the SEC versus Ripple case, keep you guys updated with everything going on, and kind of just, like I said, bring you guys up to date so we know exactly where we are, where we stand, and how the case is actually progressing and what is due to happen very soon. So hopefully it'll be a very handy video for you guys to watch, so you can obviously walk away from it now knowing exactly what's going on. So I'm not going to babble on too much, guys. I just want to get into this one and go through a few articles just so we know what is going on. So here we got it right here. So basically, SEC versus Ripple, are we up to date? The SEC versus Ripple case is moving the markets, the law, the blockchain space, and the trading industry. Here is a quick recap. And what I've basically done is I've got the three most recent articles, which were these ones at the bottom right here that I want to be going through. And basically says that the last week of August is upon us as professionals within the trading industry return from their summer holidays. It's time to review what happened in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit and related events ahead of a key date, 31st of August. As we head towards the end of a fact discovery and both parties continue to scramble over gaining access to much relevant evidence to show their key arguments, we give you the most important titles in August. So this is a big recap, all of this within August itself, right? And what I've decided to do was go through the three most recent ones so we know where we are at this point. I will leave a link to this website in the description below so you can have a look at all of them for your own sake if you wanted to. But we're going to start off with this one right here. So the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit to take several months, if not longer, said the SEC. So this is one of the main questions that people keep asking is how long is this going to take? The real answer is no one really knows. People kept making dates of June, July, now August. But fact of the matter is, no one actually knows. But the SEC are saying that it's going to take a lot longer, several months. So let's have a quick read into it. In sum, there is no realistic prospect that the parties will fully resolve this case for several months, if not longer. The Securities and Exchange Commission has replied to the court in further support of its motion to compel Ripple to search and produce relevant Slack messages to or from 22 key employees. The plaintiff argued that Ripple did not dispute it had agreed to do that and raised no objection in doing so until July 30th. They said, while Ripple now tries to paint the Slack messages, it refuses to search as not uniquely relevant to this litigation, presumptively, as Ripple has not reviewed them. Ripple's motion to seal concedes that at least some Slack messages are relevant. In fact, since the SEC filed its motion, Ripple has produced new, highly relevant Slack messages, the SEC said in a letter. The agency is replying to Ripple's refusal to hand over the terabytes of Slack messages, which the blockchain firm argues are unreasonably duplicative of Ripple's extensive production over 1 million pages of discovery. In addition, the defendants claim such demand would likely take months to complete and come at a very significant cost. In its reply, the SEC said that the time-consuming process should present no issue in this case, as the SEC does not object to Ripple's production of the Slack messages while expert discovery occurs or even afterwards. The individual defendants' motion to dismiss are still pending. The parties plan to file motions for summary judgment, and no trial date is imminent. In sum, there is no realistic prospect that the parties will fully resolve this case for several months, if not longer. For that reason, the SEC says there is no need to cut off discovery of documents that are critical to the trial and that Ripple agreed to produce until last month. So, the first one is basically, I got it up because it kind of gives us a little bit of an idea of how long these things may take. And as it shows in there, there's no actual time. It's just about waiting, being patient with it. And it still could take several months. Again, there'll be another question of, does this affect what XRP's price action will be in the charts? My own personal opinion is that it won't. Whenever there's been an alt season, a bull run, XRP has always contributed, and I still think it will. I still fully think it will. It's still making important moves in the market. It's moving with the market. It hasn't done anything significantly different to the rest of the market. So, in my opinion, I personally, obviously, it's not financial advice. I personally do not think it will affect the price of XRP in the market itself on the charts. So for me, I don't really mind how long this takes. I'm only focusing on what I'm seeing in front of me on the charts, and what I see is pretty good. What I see is actually pretty normal as well. So in my opinion, it's all fine. But let's move on to the next one. So SEC versus Ripple, bombshells in deposition pave the way for win on fair notice, says an expert. So the ex-SEC commissioner waffled according to Mr. Hogan and then answered no. As fact, discovery comes to a close in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. Parts of the infamous William Hinman deposition transcript have been attached to the SEC brief. Attorney Jeremy Hogan analyzed the documents. These experts of the deposition were, of course, chosen by the SEC, so we don't see the bad stuff yet. But this is our first look at some real evidence in the case that didn't disappoint. From the probably over 500 pages, only about 90 pages were attached to the brief, and much of it, what we do have, is redacted. The XRP-friendly lawyer said in a video, then moving on to the two bombshells he found on the transcript. Bombshell number one is on page 376 of the transcript, as the former SEC commissioner said he had his first meeting with XRP representatives trying to figure out how XRP could come into compliance in 2020. Only then did he let Ripple executives and counsel know that they were breaking the law. By then, the SEC's investigation of Ripple was already underway, and the complaint was filed in December 2020. But also keep in mind that when asked what they could do to come into compliance, it seems, according to his testimony, his only response was to say, stop selling XRP. Given the nature of the blockchain space, the burgeoning industry, the lack of fair notice argument gained strength in the eyes of Mr. Hogan, who added that the testimony only really helps the SEC for the period from when Hinman told the SEC in 2020 until the lawsuit was filed. It does nothing for pre-2020 fair notice. And bombshell number two regards the SEC policy from the agency's employees owning securities, which states that they can't own securities they are in any way working with or about to. Moreover, the purchase of any security by an SEC employee had to be pre-cleared. The Ripple Council asked William Hinman if digital assets were not covered by the securities clearance form until 2018. The ex-SEC commissioner waffled according to Mr. Hogan and then answered no. The SEC did not consider digital asset securities for their ethics purposes in 2018. You never ask a question on cross you don't know the answer to already, and that bodes very well for Ripple as far as its fair notice defense for periods from 2013 to 2018, the lawyer concluded. The fair notice defense is Ripple's favorite strategy for a win in the SEC versus Ripple case that has been dragging since the complaint was filed in December 2020. Mr. Hogan has recently analyzed both parties' strategies as they become clearer at the end of fact discovery. The SEC has warned the court that a Ripple win on a fair notice would nullify the Howey test, which is used for assessing the nature of an asset and whether it is a security or not. On the other hand, such win could save the industry from the SEC, as Attorney Hogan previously explained. So obviously in this case, guys, Jeremy Hogan has obviously spotted certain things to say that, look, they are wrong. He's spotted certain bits of evidence to prove that, they don't really have an answer and they're just waffling on. So, you got to look at it into great detail. At the end of the day, this guy looked through 500 pages and spotted out certain parts of the pages that entail important information that, quite frankly, doesn't actually make sense, and the SEC doesn't actually have an answer to, which obviously does go in Ripple's favor. So, keep going, Jeremy Hogan, man. He's obviously the guy that's helping all of the XRP holders, and hopefully, he could be he already has been a massive asset to the XRP community, but at least he's keeping us up to date by looking into these things, right? Because they're important. They are definitely important. So that is another plus on Ripple's side, of course. But again, it's something that we just have to wait and see how it plays out. And lastly, guys, just want to show you this last one right here. So SEC versus Ripple was filed by Jay Clayton. Now he joins Fireblocks while under investigation for potential conflict of interest. So this is huge. So, Jay Clayton has come under increased scrutiny over his handling of cryptocurrency issues, while chairman of the SEC, including the complaint filed against Ripple just before leaving office and joining One River Asset Management. So, I do remember when the lawsuit was filed against Ripple, Jay Clayton left like a week later or something. It was mad. And he was the one that obviously filed it. So Jay Clayton, the former chair of the US Securities and Exchange Commission, has joined Fireblocks as a member of its advisory board. Fireblocks is a crypto asset custodian which has secured the transfer of over $1 trillion worth in digital assets and has an insurance policy that covers assets in storage and transit. The firm has over 500 customers ranging from global banks to many of the largest crypto native exchanges, lending desks, hedge funds, OTC desks, and market makers. Several top names within the industry are using Fireblock service, including Revolut, BlockFi, Celsius, Prime Trust, Galaxy Digital, Genesis Trading, Crypto.com, and eToro. I didn't actually know that. It's quite interesting. Mr. Clayton's appointment will help Fireblocks and its customers navigate evolving market and regulatory dynamics affecting the development and deployment of solutions for the emerging digital asset infrastructure, said the official statement. Michael Shalov, the CEO and co-founder of Fireblocks, said Jay's insight on financial stability and security in financial markets is unparalleled. Fireblocks will greatly benefit from having Jay on the advisory board, given his expertise on many aspects of the financial sector. Jay will help to advance further the safety and security of Fireblocks infrastructure for the capital market participants and investors. Fireblocks has emerged as a leader in the evolving digital asset space. The scope of the company's vision to improve the digital asset infrastructure and security is extensive, said Jay Clayton. So here it actually goes under why he's under scrutiny. So it's over his handling of cryptocurrency issues, whilst the chairman of the SEC, Mr. Clayton, declared that Bitcoin wasn't a security and its value rose. The SEC's lawsuit against Ripple was filed at the end of Mr. Clayton's tenure of the commission. Once he left the SEC, Mr. Clayton joined One River Asset Management, a cryptocurrency hedge fund exclusively focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum. These facts have led non-profit Empower Oversight to launch an investigation of the SEC officials, including Jay Clayton. The organization, which is dedicated to enhancing independent oversight of government and corporate wrongdoing, has submitted an FOIA, or a Freedom of Information Act, request to the SEC seeking communications between SEC officials, their current and former employers. In another episode of Bad Judgment, the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit has brought attention this week to the fact that the SEC was caught erasing documents relevant to the XRP case. Huge. Parts of the William Hinman deposition transcript have been disclosed in a brief. In it, attorney Jeremy Hogan found two bombshells that can pave the way for the win for Ripple's fair notice defense, which is what we just looked at earlier. The lawsuit has put pressure on the XRP market, which has been blocked in the United States since the agency's complaint filed in December 2020. Despite anxiety involved, the lawsuit is likely to take several months, if not longer, which is also another one that we had a look at. So look, there's still a lot going on, but ultimately the real answer is still need a lot of time. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But hopefully that's been able to keep you guys up to date, finding out the little ins and outs of what's going on, certain bits of information that's been found, how long this could potentially take. So, hopefully this video has been able to keep you up to date with everything, and hopefully you've enjoyed. I'll keep doing it the more updates I do get. Hopefully I could do like a bunch of updates in one video like I've done today. But if you've enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and ensure your bell icon is turned on so you're not missing any videos. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Take care.